having a cleaner inbox is just, it's just less stressful. Because if you're logging on every day and you're seeing all these unread emails and unfiled emails, it's like, oh, I really should deal with this, eventually. And so now I don't have to worry, about that.
I hated email. I needed to recoup some time. What really did it on me is when I noticed the time that I was spending on email. When I actually measured it, it was like 2.5 hours a day, and then times 7 days, times 30 days, times a year. I was like, no, I've got to do something about this.
The things I've been wanting to do and the reason behind me hiring you guys, I've actually started to work on those projects that I just never had time for that are pretty important, but I've always pushed aside because I was like, this is not gonna, I don't have the time. I'm too busy chasing squirrels on my email.
First of all, it's about your time. I had got to the point with email that it was 3 hours a day of answering the same questions on email. So it's, first of all, think about the positive side of what else can you do with that time.
Now, how do you feel in terms of how much time you've gained in the sense that you don't have to spend hours in your inbox anymore?
Just the weight off my shoulders is amazing, because I knew I wasn't giving good customer service. I mean, I knew it.
Just this last week, I traveled out to Phoenix for a business conference, and I didn't have that stress of like, well, what's going on in my email inbox while I'm focused on this, right?
Now, being able to nurture a potential prospect, a lead coming in the door, is absolutely still critical. But being able to hand that over to somebody that has the skills and the capabilities of knowing how to structure an email, to write in the right way, to communicate your brand, communicate our brand with what Evan does, and communicate it very, very well, is a super relief for us.
So Inbox Done blew me away, even on the front end, right? So when I contacted or reached out, inquiring about services, then the whole process was so thoughtful, so well managed, and so invested in making sure that there was a good match between myself and my inbox managers. So even the onboarding conversations, or the getting to know me, the me talking through what I need help with, what my growing edges or pains were, what would I ideally like to see. And even in those initial conversations, I learned that Inbox Done was so much more than inbox management, that it started there, right? Because so much of our communication in life flows through our inbox and our calendars. But your team and the folks that you all work with are so highly skilled and gifted that there are so many other things that they could do once kind of inbox is managed well.
And what I liked about Inbox Done was that when I initially had connected with your team and gone through the call together, what you had brought up is that the people that you work with and hire are individuals who have a proclivity toward going through your email history. So for me, that was tens of thousands of email at the time, and figuring out how to best position content toward new emailers in the way that you would write those emails.
I also used email as a to-do list, or as a way to, organize undone action items. And so now that we do have Inbox Done support, it is much more streamlined, and I feel like the inbox is being taken care of. Whereas before it was just kind of like a repository where the work lives. And at any given point in time, there more work could come in, it could just pile up and pile up.
Privacy was a big concern of ours, given the amount of information and confidential information received from founders. And so I think you all have done a great job of having proper NDA set in place, and also being willing to sign NDAs on top of NDAs.
For those listening in who maybe were like you, not feeling they can let go of email for whatever reason, maybe they felt it's too personal, or they have to be the one to write the reply. what do you say to them if they're also thinking, I have to break free from this? How do you advise them on letting go?
There's 8 billion people in the world, and there exists another human out there, probably employed at Inbox Done, that can have the level of emotional intelligence and savviness and great grammar and great spelling, because that's what I'm, crazy about. Like that person exists in the universe, and so it's not a reasonable belief that like I'm the only person who can do it. And in fact, you're probably preventing your business from growing or you having more sanity if you continue to hold on to this stuff. And this is speaking for someone who's like had a really complex relationship with email for 20, 25 years. Like there exists a future state for you that is quite harmonious and allows you to have a much more peaceful existence.
If you're feeling overwhelmed with your email, then you're probably going to need somebody to do to take that task over. Hiring additional people. Where do you draw the line? Do you want to stay where you're at and just keep plunking along doing what you're doing, or do you want to scale your business and become a manager of the business and work on the business, not in the business, right?
For me, it's only worked. So it's only made things better for me. So, and yeah, I mean, it just, the main thing is you get focus and time back, right?